Previously on Funny Feelings. If I dropped my phone in rice and it stopped working, should I put it in water?
I got funny feelings. Da, 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 da. I got funny feelings. Da, 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 da. I got love. I got light and funny feelings. I got love. I got light and da, 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 da. And da, 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 da.
What are you thinking? This isn't going to be a good show. Why do you think you can entertain thousands of people, Scotty? You didn't go to college. Well, you never finished college because they shushed you and you dropped out, even though it was speech class, and that's the only class you're supposed to be talking in, but they shushed you. And then the doctor asked you if you were on drugs, and you said no. And then he said, let me recommend some. Then he said he would even you out, and you said, well, you want the highs and lows, because if you even out a roller coaster, it's a train. Let's not forget all your relationships. Every relationship you've ever had ended. So what do you know about that? Why do you think you can go on the radio and talk about relationships or talk about life? You're weird. You're strange. You're odd. What is wrong with you? You're not normal. You don't like 4th of July. You don't like barbecuing. Even though you're supposed to barbecue on 4th of July, and when you talk to the girl, she goes, well, we go camping on 4th of July. And you said, well, why? And she said, because we go camping on 4th of July. And then you said, yeah, but why do you go camping? And she said, because we go camping on 4th of July. You've never fit in. You've always been the oddball. You're strange. Even the name Funny Feelings. What makes you think you should call this show Funny Feelings? You're not funny. You're just weird. And don't get me started on the 10 million other things that are wrong with you. Now, it's one thing to have critics and have naysayers. And thanks to social media, there's no shortage of those people. But what is that little naysayer inside our own head, that little voice, that little negative thing in us that tells us, oh, this isn't going to work out? I saw some girl posted on Facebook the other day that said, like all good things, they must come to an end. Well, why is that? Why do we think that? Why are we always our worst critic? People will say, well, that's healthy because you criticize yourself and then you stand up and you rise to the occasion. But that's not necessarily the truth. That little naysayer voice can destroy us, ruin us from trying anything. Fear can overcome us and we can stop performing, stop creating, stop enjoying ourselves, stop playing. Why do we do all those things? Because of the naysayer voice. Sure, it can be led around by critics, and it can be led around by social media and our friends and our family. They say things enough, you start believing them. But there's something about that little voice in your head that always knows that something is not going to work out or something is going to go wrong. Or you know that you worked out really hard and your little voice goes, well, you're still fat, or you're still ugly, or you're still dumb. What is that voice, that naysayer voice? I want to come up with a way to shut that sucker off, and that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, some people may argue and say, well, no, the naysayer voice is good because it makes you view both sides of the equation, not only the good, but then you weigh the bad, and then but that to me stops you from doing things. That voice that tells you, oh, this is not going to work out, so why do it? The voice that's telling me right now, this is probably not a very good topic, or this is not a very good show, or why are you talking about this when you could be talking about relationships? Or all the little 1,000 things your brain tells you per day. You're not good enough, and you're not cute enough, or you're not smart enough, you're not funny enough. Now, I know that's wrong. Can you stop and celebrate the success? When something good comes your way, can you stop and go, this is great? Or do you go, this is great, but I know it's not going to last forever. Well, that's true. Nothing lasts forever. But you need to learn how to revel and bathe in the glory of the success, which took me years to figure out. I do a kudos to the day. Cheers to the day. At the end of the day, it's like I made it through the day is done, everything is great. Even if it's not, it's still better than not existing. So kudos to the day. That little voice is going, yeah, but you didn't accomplish all the things you want to. You're not very good. This is why you're single. This is why you're not a superhero. This is why you're not on TV. Shut up, naysayer voice. How do we silence the naysayer voice? Or at least turn that little voice into a cheerleader for us? Why does it have to be a naysayer voice? Why can't it say, yeah, this is a great idea? Yeah, you're smart. You're good looking. See, and this is where people go, well, I don't want to be narcissistic because I have to be humble. That's important to be humble. You can appear to be humble. You don't have to actually be humble. I don't care what you say. Nobody who steps on stage or nobody who runs a business or who is a leader doesn't have some self-esteem. You have to have self-esteem. The ones who tell you you need to be humble are the ones who want to run over you. There's that naysayer voice again. They hate you. They want to kill you. But not if you kill them first. But at least that naysayer voice is going out and searching for the enemy. And it's not destroying ourselves. There's enough of that going on. There's enough people on the internet and in real life that want to tell you that you suck. You don't have to tell you that you suck too. I feel like it's going to be hard to eliminate the naysayer inner voice altogether. So maybe we can change it into a little positive voice instead of a little negative voice. Instead of, you're not good enough, it's like, I think you're good enough. You're pretty. Instead of, what's the deal with your face? So instead of saying, shut up, inner voice, we say, be more positive, inner voice. You know how people love challenges, and this is where your negative little inner voice says, yeah, but you'll never last. You're terrible at challenges and competitions. You suck. I think telling the naysayer voice to shut up altogether is going to be hard, because have you ever tried to ignore a mosquito? It eventually bites you, right? So we have to deal with it. So here's a challenge. I'm going to do it starting Monday. You may be listening to this at different days and different times, but let's give it a week. Do this for a week. What I want to do is every time I think something negative, I'm going to turn that positive. And I hate using the terms negative and positive, and this is my inner evil voice right there saying that. I hate that because people mistake negative. Like if somebody doesn't agree with you, they say, well, that's negative. That's not what I mean. I mean that little destructive little voice when you say, hey, I'm going to write this. And then that voice says, oh, don't write that. That's no good. Instead of don't write that. That's no good. It's going to say, yeah, write it and we'll see what it looks like later. At least you're alive. Ding, 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 ding. See, happy little voice. So for a week, what I want you to do is every time your naysayer voice says something crappy to you, tell them to shut up and turn it positive. And I think if we can do this for a week, the next week, we can actually get him to start shutting up. Because I think eventually, if you only start thinking good things, that little voice, you make him positive all the time. Eventually, I don't think you'll have that negative voice. It'll completely go away. But I'm not sure. I know it's going to be hard, and I know it takes daily maintenance, but that's anything. That's diet. That's exercise. That's intelligence. Anything you do, you have to work at it. I love when people go, I tried P90X. I did one of the workouts. I don't feel any skinnier. This crap don't work. Or meditation. I sat and tried for a couple of minutes. I couldn't silence my brain. It doesn't work. If you tried to walk for the first time and you stumbled and fell down and they said, okay, that's it. You don't have to walk anymore. You're done. You'd never learn how to walk. If you said a word wrong when you were a little sticky little baby and you said something like ba-ba and they didn't correct you and you went ba-ba for the rest of your life, they would think you were a little slow. They wouldn't say, all right, you can't say the word right. You're not allowed to talk anymore. It's the same thing with your naysayer voice. Oh, and keep in mind, I keep saying him because my inner monologue, that little negative voice, my little naysayer voice is a boy, obviously. I'd be a little concerned if it was a girl voice going, you're not good, you're not smart, you're not funny. I'd be like, okay, I think I'm going to go dress shopping now. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to go a full week, 7 days, unless you're in Pacific time. We're going to go 7 days, and every time that little voice says something crappy to you, you're going to change it and make it happy. All right? Crappy, nope, happy.
Oh. You know, I think only the internet. I think only the internet is where you could go to find somebody who needs motivational therapy, giving motivational therapy. That's right. There you go. I guess, I don't know, what would you call that? Self-help? Ugh. I used to do that in my bedroom when I was a teenager, but you're supposed to be alone, not broadcasting it. Well, hey, howdy do, everybody out there. Welcome, of course, to HTLA Radio 1 New York's Best Talk. And your coffee and cigarettes, your Friday Frappuccino. Yes, the big 2-hour special event kickoff. Get you all out there and motivated and drinking. You see, because we know the key to happiness and success is alcohol. That's right. Yeah, none of this. Yeah, no, don't listen to that inner voice. Go and line up the tequila shots. That's what it's all about today. And hey, what is the show about today, you're asking? Yeah, what the hell are you going to do? How are you going to talk for 2 hours about absolutely nothing? Well, I do have some things to talk about. Yes, I do. Today on the Friday extravaganza, of course, it's all kinds of roof news. Yes, Dylan Roof appears in a court video conference. We got stories about him flunking out of school, his prior arrests, even his shoe and underwear size. Yes, we got it all here for you. And also, because we like to research useless things, today in a HTLA special presentation we have for you, The Better Halves. Yes, your guide to the 2016 candidate spouses. You thought you didn't know the candidates. Well, you really don't know the wives. So we thought, hey, it's time to bring that all to light and ask the question, if they're the better halves, why aren't we voting for them? Isn't that a fair question? Also today we got a Hillary news. Yes, we asked the question, where does that Clinton Foundation money go? Well, we found out. Yeah. In other news today, the Pope, of course, is out there on Twitter trying to scare everyone about climate change now. Yes, he's just doing, I don't know, some kind of filibuster, or he's having little popes tweet for him or some damn thing, but he's going nuts on the Twitterverse. And hey, Obama news, we've got it. AME Church news, of course we got it. So much more on the show today. So hey, why don't you come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up, because it's coffee time. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it may be to you. Of course, to us, it is 3:03 p.m. in the big city of New York right now. And it's time, of course, for your coffee and cigarettes Friday Frappuccino for this 19th of June, 2015. 83 in Central Park right now under partially sunny skies. Clouds are playing around up there and blocking it out and then not blocking it out and then blocking it out again. And, well, you know the deal. You know the deal. Yeah, so hey, welcome to the show today, the big Friday show, and we got a lot to go through because I made sure. And no, I didn't actually go through and pre-check Jenny's work today on the stories, but I'm hoping. So what can we do? Well, the one, the only Jenny McCartney, yes, the former social media goddess, is in the booth today, pushing the buttons on that PreSonus 2442 broadcast mixer, making the show go for us today. And if you are into audio, professional, otherwise, digital, analog, get yourself on over to PreSonus.com. That's the place to be because, man, they got the gear. They got the toys. Also today, of course, this episode and this show, of course, is brought to you by the fine folks, Tim Hortons, New York City. Yes, Tim Hortons with those 8 fine locations in the city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs. Tim Hortons, always fresh. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. So moving along today, we've got, of course, our lovely guest / co-hosts, and we don't have that third yet. We still haven't replaced that spot, so of course, coming to us live via satellite, because that's the way he likes it, is the one, the only Louis Lawless. And if you don't know who he is, he's a, film director and producer for the last 30-odd years in Hollywood. And he's just an amazing all-around good guy, and he taught me everything I know about film and TV. And Louis, are you there?
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Really? Already? You usually ask if you can swear or something.
That was a mistake on my part.
Right. So, are you gonna?
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
That's more like it. That's what I like to hear.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
That's not what I like to hear.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
See, that's.
I go a half an hour. Do I get $50,000?
Oh, my friend. What the hell do you want to do with all that money?
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards,
yeah.
And I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and they all get. You have to give them a DVD now.
Oh, I see. Yeah, $25,000 for a DVD for 200 people. That works out to like $125 a piece.
That was a mistake on my part.
Okay, so what is your actual accounting then?
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Right, change the subject. There we go.
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
And you didn't.
We didn't.
No, of course not. So there you are. You're here. Also joining us, of course, from his lovely apartment, actually in the big city here, about 8 blocks away from HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan. Yes, it's the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried. Are you there, sir?
And this is... I f***ed that up.
Oh. See, and I thought you were going to come on so strong.
Yes. I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Yeah, and that's why it's by yourself in your apartment. Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't blame that exactly. I think it's more likely, you.
What the fuck?
Well, I was just thinking.
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, good. Are you gonna bring it today? You gonna just unload? You gonna scent of a woman us? Is that?
And here's Hervé Villagers in Scent of a Woman. Your name is Daphne, because I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me, even though I'm blind?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, see, he really knows how to get the show going. He really... you got that together, man.
Break for a commercial.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we can't. We got a lot to cover today on the show, of course, and not the least of which is, the wives of the possible candidates for president. Yeah. Well, it's an important thing.
Yes.
We need to know beforehand. I mean, as so eloquently, displayed by the current first family, we may have wanted the president.
Yes.
But we sure as Christ didn't want the first lady. No. You got a woman who she's the first lady in 2008 there. And,
yes.
She's fairly thin and a mighty handsome black woman.
Yes.
And, there's comparisons made in magazines like Vanity Fair. And,
Yes.
and the New York Times even made some comparisons. They were making the comparison that she was like Jackie Kennedy. Yeah. So then what does she do? Well, she gets introduced to America.
Yes.
And they have those little press junkets to meet the First Lady. And then subsequently, some weeks later, she starts putting on the pounds.
Yes.
And she gets up to, 300 or something? And then somebody in the press secretary or whatever,
Yes.
somebody there decides, hey, she's got to have some causes that she stands behind and supports. Let's get her out there promoting good eating for school kids.
No, I don't, because I asked him. I said, "Well, fly out here and I'll film you."
And what? You're still on that, are you? Try another one, Louie.
They get f***ing crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
That's better.
Yes.
Yeah, that works. Yes, and she continues through the presidency being roly-poly and talking about good food. Yeah. And recently in the news, of course, there's been speculation as to what the president's going to do after the, the farce that is the presidency.
Yes.
And, of course, they've asked him what he's going to do, and, well, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. I still say he's going to Hollywood and he's going to try and be an actor. The official word, of course, is he's shining a song with, well, I'm going to be a professor at the Columbia University. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't even think he could pass the SATs.
Yes.
No. But yes, he's going to be a professor at the Columbia University, of course, teaching other people to be just like him. Yes, but nobody's asked the question, what is she going to do afterwards,
Yes.
right? Well, I've got some breaking news for you today, of course, because I just found out, Kirstie Alley, of course, is a good friend of the show.
Yes.
And she's in the city here. And, of course, she has been, for the last, 2.5 decades, the spokeswoman for Jenny Craig.
Yes.
Right. Well, apparently their competition, Weight Watchers, is getting Mrs. Obama as the spokesperson. There you go. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Well, we'll get into all that kind of fun and stuff today because, of course, we've got no end of time here because I've informed the fine, the higher-ups, the powers that be, the executives.
Yes.
I've informed them that I'm going until my dick is raw. Yeah. And how long is that, you might ask?
Yes.
No, not my dick. How long it takes to get raw. Yeah. I would never put that sad 3.5-inch thing out there. Yeah. But it does take quite a while for it to get raw. Yeah. So, you're in for a real treat today. A real treat.
Oh, it's not awful, but just not good.
Yeah. You're still on that, are you?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on with some of the stories first before I whip it out. And actually, before I whip it out and get on with the stories,
Yes.
we should actually mention, of course, the Spreaker.com All-Stars chat room. Yes, that's right. Spreaker.com, the place where you too can be superheroes of radio. Yes, that's brought to you by Timmy's. So of course, in the Spreaker.com chat room right now are the two princesses of HTLA radio power. It's the one, the only Devlon Crawford, HTLA's number 1 fan.
Yes.
And our reporter from Texas, Sharon Chesley. Yes. and she's actually, okay. She's doing the music correspondent today. She's talking about, she may actually have an interview with Devo. She's saying, whip it good. Oh, no, wait a minute. She's talking about my tiny penis. That's okay. Never mind. Well, let's get on to some real fun stuff, like that white guy who killed 9 black people. No, let's do that.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, Louis, this kid isn't responsible for that. He just killed 9 black people. It's okay. And actually, really, I was sitting here this morning.
Yes.
And I was looking through these stories,
Yes.
and I'm just kind of asking the question. It wasn't that long ago in this country that killing 9 black people was just a Saturday morning. Like I don't see the big what's the
Yeah.
what's the I don't see the big deal. I'd really so what isn't it? Well, today, Dylan Roof appears in court via, of course, a video conference because, well, they just didn't want to smell him. Charleston, South Carolina, Dylan Roof, who faces a court hearing today, has been charged with 9 counts of murder in connection with an attack inside a historic black church in downtown Charleston, police said today. He was also charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a violent crime. Roof appeared in court this afternoon via video conference. Roof, who's only 21 years old, was returned to South Carolina after waiving his extradition rights following his arrest Thursday near Shelby, North Carolina, about 245 miles northwest of Charleston. Yes, Roof confessed to the shooting following his capture, a federal law enforcement official said today. The official declined to be identified because he's not authorized to discuss anything with HTLA. Well, Governor Nikki Haley, speaking on NBC's Today Show this morning, said that we will absolutely want him to have the death penalty for this heinous act. And, of course, that heinous act being not looking like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. No. Although, if you ask me, I think that's a much more serious crime.
Yes.
Yeah. But, of course, he killed 9 members of a Bible study group at the Emmanuel AME Church on Wednesday evening. Charleston Mayor Joseph P. Riley Jr. said at a news conference today that though he's not a proponent of the death penalty, it's the law in South Carolina, and he expects it will be sought in the church shooting. Quote, if you were going to have a death penalty, certainly this case would merit it, Riley said. Really? How come? Like I just said, it wasn't that long ago. It was a Saturday afternoon. Especially down in Texas.
Yes.
Hey, Jed, how many you get this morning? Oh, I got me 9.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Well, who wouldn't? You betcha. You betcha. Yes, so they're going for the death penalty, which, they're actually kind of doing him a favor because now he's going to be appealing to the Supreme Court for the next 75 years going, well, I don't want that cocktail. Give me another one. Well, Shelby police officials did not interview Roof formally, according to WBTV, a Charlotte TV station, which quotes an unidentified source as saying the suspect was videotaped during the entire time he was at the Shelby Police Department. The source told WBTV that Roof spoke freely, told investigators that he had been planning the attack for a period of time, had researched the Emmanuel AME Church, and targeted it specifically because it was a historic black church. Well, I guess that's one less listener to Coffee and Cigarettes today. I don't know. Maybe they'll actually let him listen in the jail.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, he's got to have his Hervé Villachez,
I'm in pain. I looked to dance the tango.
Oh, too goddamn. And, of course, the Cary Grant chant. You can't have,
Hey, hey.
Oh, we're just sick bastards, aren't we?
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we're not talking about that, Louis. That
was a mistake on my part.
Shut up. Yeah. Well, according to WBTV's source, Roof told investigators he had a Glock handgun hidden behind a pouch he was wearing around his waist. He also told investigators he thought he'd only shot a few people, then told he actually killed 9. He appeared somewhat remorseful, according to the source. I don't know. Maybe he was maybe he was thinking, okay, well, I've got 15 bullets in this magazine. I should be able to get, hopefully, 15 blacks. Well, and the funny thing is, according to the actual eyewitness folks,
yes,
yeah, the black folks who were there and hate white people. Well, according to them now, he went in there, unloaded with his Glock, and then reloaded.
Yes.
And then unloaded, and then reloaded.
Yes.
And he apparently did this. He went through 5 magazines.
Yes.
I think the White Brotherhood really needs to increase their gun training. 15 bullets in a mag,
yes,
and 5 mags. Damn it! I would have. No, I'm going to. I'm going to demand a higher death count. What, 9? What the hell is 9? That's like what was he shooting behind his back with a mirror or something? All right, black folks, here's some trick shooting. Yeah. Well, when asked why he was going to Nashville, he reportedly told investigators, I ain't never been there afore. I have no idea why that's in the story, but it is.
Yes.
Well, police alleged that Roof opened fire on worshippers after sitting with them for at least an hour. The victims included the pastor Clementa Pinckey, 41, who was also a state senator. Way to go! Well done. I mean, that was just a total grab bag, like, wee-haw!
Yes.
Bonus! You got bonus kills. Where's the Unreal Tournament announcer when you need him? Yeah. Well, Roof allegedly told the police that he almost didn't go through with the shooting because everyone was so nice to him. They were such nice black people, he said. Well, a photo of the gunman was captured on surveillance cameras entering the church before the attack. Police also had an image of his black four-door sedan. Within hours, police had identified the suspect as Roof and issued an appeal for information on his whereabouts. He was taken into custody in North Carolina about 14 hours after the shooting when a citizen who had recognized the suspect and his car from news reports alerted police. That stool pigeon's name and address will be provided here shortly. Well, Charleston Police Chief Gregory Mullen said Roof was cooperative when Shelby police took him into custody. Officers found a gun in the car. Police say they thought Roof was the lone gunman within hours of the bloody attack on the church, which was founded in 1816. Asked whether authorities believe Roof had acted alone, Mullen said, "We don't have any reason to believe anyone else was involved." Excellent. That's exactly the way I want it to stay. Well, a federal law enforcement official who, of course, the same one who's not authorized to speak to us.
Yes.
Well, he confirmed that Roof's father had given him a .45 caliber handgun for his 21st birthday back in April. Police are analyzing the weapon recovered from Roof's car after his arrest to see whether it matches the firearm used in the attack and whether it's the same gun he received as a birthday gift. And the question we have here today at HTLA at this hour is, what if it's not? And let's play a little game of what if for a moment.
Yes.
What if the investigation and search goes on for months?
Yes.
What if different roads and different leads point in different directions that don't quite seem the right way to go?
Yes.
What if the gun is found in the Reverend Jesse Jackson's bedroom? Huh? That's what I mean. These criminals, they've got no sense of entertainment anymore.
Yes.
You know, that's the first thing I'd do. I'd do that, and then I'd go to Jesse Jackson's house, whichever one of his 50 frickin' houses he has. I'd go there. I'd plant the gun. I'd even when he's sleeping, I'd get him to grip the gun and
Yes.
yes, and then I'd put it in his little bedside table. And ooh, wouldn't that be a what? Well, authorities believe, as indicated by a witness to the attack, that the gunman may have reloaded multiple times during the assault. The official said when the gunman entered the church, it's believed that he took a seat close to members of the prayer group, suggesting that the shots were fired at close range. Well, the official said it's not immediately believed the gunman targeted specific individuals, just dark. While launching the attack, the official said the gunman uttered that he intended, quote, to kill black people. Now, the gunman is also believed to have told a survivor that he was allowing that person to live to report how the attack occurred, the official said. A one-time acquaintance of Roof told the Associated Press today that he would rant blacks were taking over the world as the pair got drunk on vodka. He doesn't know. They don't have the education. That's not going to happen. Even President Obama's not in charge. His fat wife is. Come on. Well, Roof railed that someone needed to do something about it for the white race. As he said, the former friend, Joseph Meek Jr., according to the AP, Roof's former roommate, Dalton Tyler, told ABC News today that Roof seemed to have been plotting some kind of violence, quote, for 6 months. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably looking at his watch. Well, about another 3 hours to 6 months. But yeah, 6 months, yeah. Yes, he said he wanted to start a civil war, Tyler said. He said he was going to do something like that and then kill himself. I'm thinking he should have done the latter first. and you know what, Gilbert? I'm going to say this. You know that Scotty self-help, what is it? The funny feelings show we've been putting on before the show?
Yes.
I'm thinking Scotty might be down a listener too. Well, the apparent racially motivated nature of the killings have prompted, of course, renewed calls for the removal from the State House grounds of the Confederate flag. Governor Haley, without taking a position on the issue, told CBS News this morning that she expects the state to once again take up the issue. Yes, you stupid Twinkie politician, because the flag made him do it. Well, the conversation will probably come back up again, and what we hope is that we will do things in a way South Carolinians do, which is have the conversation, allow some thoughtful words to be exchanged, be kind about it, on what we're trying to achieve and trying to do. And I think the state will talk about and again, and, we'll see where it goes. End quote, Haley said. Did that make any sense? No. No, I didn't think so. And then, of course, the news report goes on with pictures of the deceased, black heroes. There we go. So that's that. And, now, of course, we have to do it. We'd have to go for our first commercial break.
Yes.
But don't worry. When we come back, we're gonna dig more inside the mind of Dylan Roof. We're gonna. We're going to take you on a journey, if you will.
Yes.
I really don't know what the Christ I am trying to say here. No, we're going to take you on a journey into the mind of a right-thinking American. Oh, man. Am I going to hell?
Yes.
Am I? Really? I kind of thought maybe. Anyway, gang, we'll be back into Hold On to Your Butts. It's going to get real.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough, there was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah! Hoorah!
4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slick back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Hi, I'm Melvin Leroy with the camera and the thing and the person with the and I'm Melvin Leroy. You want to stand in front of it and I'll go action.
Oh my God.
That was a mistake on my part.
No.
$88,000 a year they make, approximately average, 80, let's say.
Right.
And there's 1,000. That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
Okay, all right, I'll go with that. Sure, that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Thanks. Man, I just don't know, where to go from here.
I've been on enough radio shows to know that in the middle of an answer, the guy is like checking the boards and looking over notes and talking to other people.
Sure.
Yes. See, now you're impressed.
Yeah. Well, he might be. I'm not. No. Well, welcome back to the big show today. Yes, your Friday Frappuccino kickoff on Coffee and Cigarettes, getting your weekend off to the wrong start. Now we got to do some shout-outs and greetings and salutations, of course.
Yes.
Yes, before Idiot here goes off on Scent of a Woman again. No, before. No, before. Of course, the one, the only Texas Rose, Sharon Chesley, is in the Spreaker.com chat room. Yes, the superstars of Spreaker right there. And, of course, actually, HTLA has got quite the harem of broadcast babes, I guess we'll call them. Yeah, it's like the World Wrestling Federation and their wrestling babes. We, of course, have the radio babes.
Yes.
And we do. Sharon Chesley, of course, Devlon Crawford, HTLA Radio 1's #1 fan.
Yes.
Apocalypse, who the hell else we got in there? We got, Apocalypse and some, some dude named Aaron. Yeah. Yes, that dude we all know and love, Aaron. There it is.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
No. Jeez, I sound like Morgan Freeman there. That's right. So come join the radio babes of HTLA. Quit laughing, you little geek. I'd rather see them naked than you.
Yes.
Laughing your ass off at that, you prick.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Oh, you don't say. All right.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
Well, that's good, Louie. Coming from the guy who taught me 22 years ago how to edit, that's not good news. But thanks for sharing that all the same. I do appreciate that incredibly.
That was a mistake on my part.
And it's okay. We all make them, and it's going to be fine. Actually, you've been making a lot of mistakes lately. I know you're back in the police's bad books. Yes, you had a little outburst there in a movie theater or something a week or two ago again.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
See, and that's kind of what I'm saying,
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, I know, but, I guess like this roof guy, where's the remorse? Where's the damn remorse? Well, as promised before the commercial break,
yes.
We're going to take you inside the mind of this doofus. Yes, and of course, to get a better look at the inside of this little prick's skull without a sledgehammer.
Yes.
We have to, of course, go to his history, and his history is kind of a normal one for white trash. Yeah? Yes, he flunked out of school and had two, count them, two. This guy, it's a 3 strikes, you're out, buddy, 2 prior arrests. Well, he stands 5'9" and weighs just 120 pounds, but beyond the baby face and Jim Carrey bull haircut... Yes, the Charleston, South Carolina shooting suspect, Dylan Storm Roof. Man, kudos to Dad for that name.
Yes.
21 years old, flaunted symbols of white supremacism and violence. Which I guess is, his violence.
Yes.
I guess is completely not like the black violence in Ferguson. Because that's black violence. It's justified.
Yes.
Yeah. This is white violence and a no-no. Of course, I did mention the violence in Ferguson.
Yes.
How about that Baltimore? Huh? At least this kid's not going around making America look horrible. Oh, wait, is he?
Same thing.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the Confederate States of America license plate hung from the front bumper, of course, of Roof's black 15-year-old Hyundai Elantra 4 weeks ago. He put, now this is the thing. Now you see the president, of course, is calling for new gun legislation.
Yes.
Yes, it's the guns problem. Well, I'm going to submit here it's frickin' Hyundai's fault. Yes, because it was that Hyundai that drove him to that church where 9 black people were killed. Damn you, Hyundai! Well, 4 weeks ago, he posted a Facebook photo of himself scowling at the camera, sporting a black jacket with new-looking patches of apartheid South Africa. Jeez, I didn't even know you could get those. Damn. I'll have to see if I can find them on eBay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, apartheid South Africa and patches of the formerly white-ruled African country of Rhodesia. And again, still, he doesn't see that the United States was formerly white-ruled too. Doesn't get that. Well, Roof's Facebook profile, which has now been removed, had little else the public could see, just the one photograph and a note that he lived in a tiny Eastover, South Carolina, which runs along the battered 2-lane highway, and attended West Knoll High School. At high school, he apparently struggled. Police arrested Roof on Thursday around 11:30 a.m. during a traffic stop in Shelby, North Carolina, about 250 miles northwest of the coastal city of Charleston. He is charged with 9 counts of murder in the shooting at a historic black church in downtown Charleston. Wow, tell us all the shit we already know. Yes, where he allegedly shouted racial epithets and he gunned down 9 people with, let's do the math here, 75, 80 bullets.
Yes.
Got to get them good old boys to be better shots. During a prayer meeting Wednesday. Photographs after his arrest show him wearing jeans, a loose white T-shirt, and a bullet-protective vest that he was escorted by police to a patrol car. Roof had minor encounters with police, starting back in February at the Columbia Center, a one-story mall anchored by J.C. Penney and Dillard's on the outskirts of the state capital, Columbia. Shortly before the center's 9 p.m. closing time, mall security called Columbia police, and Roof began asking employees of 2 stores, quote, out-of-the-ordinary questions, such as how many people were working at what time when they leave, a police report shows. That doesn't seem racially motivated. He just wants, the most people there so he can, maybe get more than 9.
Yes.
Oh, and the police officer saw Roof getting nervous in response to questions. He searched Roof and found Suboxone, a prescription drug used to treat narcotic addiction. Roof was banned from the mall for a year, but showed up again in late April and was arrested and charged with trespassing. A South Carolina judge found him guilty after the trial and ordered Roof to pay a $262 fine. Well, if you look at that and kind of compare it to what he did at the church, what's all this death penalty stuff? He should be billed like $2,200, right? Well, police arrested him again on March 1st in Lexington County on a misdemeanor drug charge for possession of a controlled substance. Roof turned 21 in April. A federal law enforcement official who was authorized to speak publicly said that Roof was given a .45 caliber handgun for his 21st birthday in April by Daddy. Roof's address, according to police report, was a 3-bedroom house on 1.3 acres in Eastover, about 20 miles east of Columbia. This kind of poor side of town, we're not wealthy over here, said a friend who attended the same high school as Roof. At White Knoll, a high school with nearly 2,000 students in Lexington, South Carolina, Roof had to repeat 9th grade and left the school in 2010 in the middle of his second stint as a freshman. The school said, quote, he hung out with weird people. This is a former schoolmate who did not want to be associated publicly with this effing mess. And apparently Roof adopted a goth style, wearing black clothing and makeup, the former student said. Well, I guess if you don't want to be identified and you don't want to be tied in with all this, you can say whatever the F you want. Well, despite a connection on Facebook, the former student said they barely knew each other in high school and probably connected through the website years ago. Roof's Facebook page showed about 80 friends, all about his age, including roughly 21 with photographs showing them to be black. Okay, so out of his 80 friends, he's got 21 who are black. I think I got like 4. So, you know, if I ever do anything like this, I'm going to get a $2,200 fine. Well, the patches that Roof wore that everybody's all up in arms with. Yes, the South Africa and Rhodesia patches, formerly white-ruled countries now called Zimbabwe, have been associated with white supremacist groups. Yeah, so what? So's Hitler. What do you want? Yeah? Roof's Facebook page had no sign of family, including his older sister, Amber Roof, who until recently was a pre-kindergarten teacher at a public school in the northern part of the state, now a stripper down at Irvin's. She, however, did graduate from the University of South Carolina.
Yes.
There you go. Well, according to the school's website, Roof recently left the school because she's getting married in June, the school said. A woman who answered a phone line tied to an address for the suspect in Eastover told the Post and Courier that she was not doing interviews with the news media and hung up. She did not identify herself. A man with ties to Roof, who identified himself as Bennett Roof, when reached on his cell phone, said, I ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, so there it is. That's apparently the look inside his mind. I don't know about you guys. I don't know anything now. You know, I mean, you ask yourself the question, what made him do this?
Yes.
You know, well, there's a growing movement out there that say it was his car's license plate. You know, because those government lawmakers and stuff now are being retasked with the stupid Confederate flag thing again.
Yes.
You know, is there any movement to abolish Africa from the planet now because he had the patches on? Really? I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking. It's a question. You know, it's a good question. God damn it! Yeah.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Yeah, well, you've said that before when we first broke this story, Louis. But of course, you know, his dad gave him the gun for his birthday. Somebody loves him. You know.
The music is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Okay, well, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. Well, moving on today, of course, with your special 2-hour egg extravaganza. We thought it would be good here at HTLA. We did a little bit of research, and we wanted to know this because, of course, now we're getting into the segment of the show, the better haves. Yes, your guide to those 2016 presidential candidate no-name. Who are they?
Yes.
Well, we thought nobody knows them. Wouldn't it be cool to kind of do a little expose on the wives of the nobodies? You know? You know, because we don't know most of these, and
yes.
You know, we certainly don't know their wives, but they're nicer to look at, right? Well, I guess in the least in some cases.
Yes.
Just
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, I know. But we're not. No, we're not really going there with this. We're just trying to, I guess, get inside the minds of these women. Yes. Coffee Side brought to you by Tim Hortons. Yes.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Oh, Christ. All right. Well, hey, at this point, you've probably read plenty about the Republicans and Democrats who have officially announced their campaigns to be the next commander-in-chief. Yes, but what about the potential new first lady or first gentleman? Oh, whew, thank God. It's actually about, of course, Bill Clinton in this case. I thought it was, I don't know, some gay candidate with a... Well, hey, here's a rundown. Not included or Senator Lindsey Graham, who doesn't even stack up anymore. Yes, the only 2016 White House candidate who is... Oh, okay, well, she's not married.
Yes.
But officially, of course, she's not in that top 10 anymore. So, well, Columbia Bush. Who the hell names their daughter after a space shuttle? And why does she look Puerto Rican?
Yes.
Well, Columbia Bush met Jeb when he, here we go, visited Mexico. As part of a high school program, and they married back in 1974. They have 3 children, Jeb Jr., Noel, and George P., who was elected the Texas Land Commissioner in November. Oh, there you go. There's a little Texas news we did not know. Well, she's the former First Lady of Florida and has taken up such causes as domestic violence and substance abuse. Well, I guess like the First Lady of the country with her food thing, I guess she's got a lot of experience. But she has largely remained out of the spotlight. If Jeb Bush is elected, she'd be the first Hispanic First Lady. Know what I'm saying, Cholo? And let's move on. Yes, Candy Carson. Oh, yes, the president's first lady, Candy. Well, make no mistake, Gilbert, this woman looks like a battleship. Yes, Lacina Candy Carson, and of course, I guess the second only educated black man, Surgeon Ben Carson. Well, they met as students at Yale University. Who the hell let them on the property? Christ, that's why I've always been a Harvard man.
Yes.
Well, and they have 3 sons, Ben Jr. Isn't it funny how all these guys, you know, Jeb and Ben, they've all got their little juniors so that they can carry on their idiocy. Well, Royce and Murray are the other 2 children. In 1994, the couple created the Carson Scholars Fund, a non-profit organization that allows them to siphon off huge sums of money. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. It's actually a nonprofit that works towards engaging students in science and technology.
Yes.
Okay. I got to get my eyes checked.
Yeah.
Well, Candy Carson, who is an accomplished violinist, yes, has an MBA from Yale in the School of Management. I'll be damned.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
I'm going to go with, well, geez, I don't know. I think Stephanie Chaffee would be the one I'd shack up with. I'm kidding. She's a dog, too.
Yes.
Well, yes, Stephanie Chaffee, the former First Lady of Rhode Island, was the state's first AIDS research nurse, and, of course, is the co-founder of Rhode Island's only free health clinic. Lincoln and Stephanie Chaffee come from two of Rhode Island's wealthiest families. They have 3 children, Louisa, Caleb, and Thea, and they are not black. And, of course, First Lady Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Yes, Bill Clinton has some pretty strong credentials to be the most recognizable spouse among the 2016 set. He did, after all, serve as president for 2 terms, in case you weren't paying attention. Yes, of course, after previous stints also as Arkansas governor and state attorney general. The Clinton Foundation founder, and we'll tell you about that later. Yes, the Clinton Foundation founder told David Letterman in May of returning to the White House with Hillary Clinton. If she wins the election, the chances are 100% they'll move back. If I'm asked, he says. I hope I'd be invited, he joked with Rachel Ray in January about his potential title. Quote, if a woman became president, I could be called Adam, he said. Hey, wait a minute. That rings a bell.
Yes.
Wasn't that a quote that he was using when Monica was sucking him off? Well, didn't one of the presidential aides, weren't they quoted as saying, "Oh, that's right, suck it, call me Adam"?
Yes.
Wow, that's okay. Oh, yeah. Well, he said, I could be called Adam. The Clintons, of course, have 1 daughter. Yes, and that superstar daughter we all know and love. Yes. What the hell's her name? Chelsea. That's it. Chelsea. There we go. There you are. Ooh, hey, well, let's talk about Ted Cruz's little bang-up blonde hottie. Of course, we're talking about Heidi Cruz. Yes, has served as managing director at Goldman Sachs. Oh, fuck, it's her fault. Well, apparently she will take an unpaid leave of absence from the firm during Ted's campaign. She met her husband when they were both working on George W. Bush's 2000 presidential campaign. They have 2 daughters, Catherine and Caroline. That's all it says about her. And now we got a real, well, she's not fat or ugly.
Yes.
She just looks like a bitch. Yeah, of course, I'm talking about Frank Fiorina, who met his wife of 30 years when they both worked at AT&T. In an interview with Bloomberg, he discussed telling Carly Fiorina on their 3rd date that one day she would run the company. It was a good line. She loved it, he said. I got myself some pussy. Well, he took an early retirement in 1998 and has 2 daughters from a previous marriage, Lori Ann and Tracy. Lori Ann Farina died in 2009, so we can't make fun of her. Moving down the hit parade.
Yes.
We've got, of course, Janet Huckabee, the First Lady of Arkansas from 96 to 2007. She ran unsuccessfully for Arkansas Secretary of State Mike Huckabee, was running for his 2nd term as governor. The couple have 3 children, John, Mark, David, and Sarah. John, Mark, David, and Sarah, that's 4. Not even going to touch it.
Yes.
No. And apparently, an interesting little tidbit, she is also a spinal cancer survivor. So, hey, at least we know she's got one. Moving on down the line, Katie O'Malley, yes, the former First Lady of Maryland, is a Baltimore City District Court judge. She met Martin O'Malley where they were attending a law school at the University of Maryland, and they were married in 1990. They have 4 children. Oh, are you sure? Because, the last one said 3 and then gave us 4 names. Well, apparently their children are Grace, Tara, William, and Jack. Look at that. There's actually 4. Well, I don't know about you, Gilbert, but that's where my vote's going.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I want a president that can count. Let's move it on. Libby Pataki, as director of Putnam County Tourism. Ooh, there's an important job. Yes, was the First Lady of New York from 95 to 2007. During her time as First Lady here, she focused on raising awareness for breast cancer and boosting the state's agricultural industry. She's also co-founder of the pro-Israel organization One Jerusalem. Yes, she and George Pataki have 4 children too, apparently.
Yes.
Well, let's just see. Emily.
Yes.
Teddy.
Yes.
Allison.
Yes.
And Owen. He can count too. Who's 2 of them in the lineup that can count?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Kelly Paul? Yes, Kelly Ashby Paul. Probably the hottest little piece of meat in the whole lineup. Formerly worked for the Strategy Group for Media and recently published a book, True and Constant Friends. She met Rand Paul in Atlanta while he was doing an internship at Georgia Baptist Medical Center. The senator's full name is Randall. He is known as Randy as a young man. But she shortened it to Rand after they met. Well, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. She's going to be in charge at the White House.
Yes.
Screw that. They do have 3 sons, and they can count to William, Duncan, and Robert. And moving on down here, Anita Perry met Rick Perry at a piano recital when he was just 8 years old. That sick, cradle-robbing bitch. Yes, they married 24 years later. The former nurse focused on healthcare while serving as First Lady of Texas. Yeah! Man, today's show is just all kinds of Texas news nobody knew.
Yes.
Yes, she did. The First Lady of Texas during Rick Perry's 3 gubernatorial terms, he credits her with picking out his trademark hipster glasses. The Perrys can count too. They have 2 children. Griffin and Sydney. Geez, that's pretty good. 3 out of the lineup so far can count. Well, and how about that Jeanette Rubio? Ooh, I take that former hottie back. This one's better. Yes, Jeanette Rubio smoking.
Yes.
There she is. Yes, Jeanette Debs Rubio, I think. Oh, it's so exotic. Oh, and here's why, gang. You didn't know, but she's a former Miami Dolphins cheerleader.
Yes.
And seriously, she's so hot, I was going to say Miami Dolphins. Or Diami Molfins.
Yes.
Fill up my mouth with farts. Well, she's been married to Marco Rubio for 12 years. She recounted their engagement story to ABC back in April, noting that he proposed atop the Empire State Building. Ooh, that's original.
Yeah.
But he was afraid the ring would fall off the building. Well, doesn't he know he's not actually supposed to be hanging off the edge? It's... What has he got her hand through the chain link trying to stick on the ring or something? What the hell is that? Well, yes, on top of the Empire State Building. He was afraid the ring would fall off the building. She's been a stay-at-home mom to the couple's 4 children. Okay, well, here's the test. Anthony, Daniela, Amanda, and Dominic. Yes. Well, there you go. And she formed a consulting firm back in 2011 that works with the Bremen Family Charitable Foundation, another foundation set up to siphon off huge amounts of money. Well, you know, cheerleaders' clothes are expensive.
Yes.
Moving along, we got Bernie Sanders' lovely lady here, Jane Sanders. She met Bernie in 1981 on the night of his mayoral win in Burlington, Vermont. They were married in 1988. Both grew up in Brooklyn. She's the former president of Burlington College, and she has a Ph.D. with a concentration in leadership and policy studies from Union Institute and University. And she also previously worked in community development. They have 4 children, Levi, Heather, Karina, and David. I'm not going to say nothing. She's awesome and smart. There you go. Oh, and how about that Karen Santorum? Yes, a former neonatal intensive care nurse. She went to law school at the University of Pittsburgh and met Rick Santorum when she entered at the law firm where he was working. Santorums have 7 children, and you know they were doing a lot of banging on the desk in the law firm. 7 children: Elizabeth, John, Daniel, Sarah, Maria, Peter, Patrick, and Isabella. Epic fail, that's 8. Oh, never mind. Wait, no, that was 8.
Yes.
Yeah, they lost a son in 96 when the baby was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. Their youngest child, Bello, was born with a rare genetic disorder. Geez, if one's dead and another one's got a disorder, stop having kids. You're not meant to keep that going. Just don't do that. Well, hey, how about that Melania Trump? Screw the cheerleader. Oh. Well, he might be old.
Yes.
He might be ugly.
Yes.
He might be bald.
Yes.
But damn, does he sleep with some nice stuff. That's right. Melania Trump is Donald Trump's 3rd wife. He gets rid of them after they're 30. And these two have been married since 2005. She was born in Slovenia. Yes, and provides much money to Russian mafia. She do him for the guns. Well, of course, she was also a former model.
Yes.
They have 1 child together, Baron. Nice. See, the Don can count.
Yes.
There you go. She has a degree in design. Christ, I didn't even know they taught that. What is that? A degree in design and architecture, and launched a jewelry line because it has every bit to do with design and architecture. So she's got her jewelry line through QVC in 2010. Not really much else to say about her except smoking ass. Just, my God, it's just like two globes of soft lust. I don't know what it is.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, well, you know, we go from glorious ass to the Pope. That's right. The Pope is lighting up Twitter like a mother effer.
Yes.
That's right. Samuel L. Jackson would be proud. Imagine the Pope with a gack. Oh, that would be some sweet Jesus preaching there. Yeah, get him to do that Marcellus Wallace thing.
Yes.
That would be a YouTube video I would watch.
Yeah.
Well, Pope Francis is lighting up Twitter feed now with all the climate change warnings. Oh, my God, we're all going to die. Yes, it's all scientific and shit. It is. Pope Francis didn't pull any punches in his letter on climate change. No, sir, frickin' E. Yes, the science of climate change is clear, he explains. Humans are at fault. We're destroying the earth and killing ourselves. Stop it. Our membership is going down. The world's poorest people, of course, are brunting the worst of it, and the most blame lies with rich countries and corporations. Monsanto. Yes, that pursue profit and economic growth with little or no regard for people and the environment. And stealing the line from Obama, the pontiff writes, "It's time for change." Well, that's the basic message of Laudato Si, but there's a lot more in there, including messages on clear water access, biodiversity, conflicts and violence related to control over natural resources, technology, and a consumerist culture that Pope Francis calls the throwaway culture. To which, I guess if I was to interview the pontiff,
yes,
I would probably ask him, what's it like to be pope over all that shit? I don't think that's going to look too good on his record upstairs.
Yes.
Well, Pope Francis has got your back. For the past day, he's been tweeting key points from his encyclical to his 20 million Twitter followers. It would take more than 1,600 tweets to reproduce the entire letter, but we're guessing he won't go quite that long. He's too old. Now, here are some of his most poignant tweets on the subject because you need to know. Quote, I invite all to pause and think about the challenges we're facing regarding care for our common home. Hashtag Laudato Si. Yes. Also, he says, there's an ultimate relationship between the poor and the fragility of the planet. Yes. The throwaway culture of today calls for a new lifestyle. Yes, here's another quote of wisdom.
Yeah.
The climate is common good, belonging to all, meant for all.
Yes.
And holy crap, Jenny, there's like 20 more here. Really? Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I love our goddamn listeners. Freaking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, hey, gang, we got to get rolling here. We're going to go for a quick commercial break, but don't you touch the dial or go anywhere or touch yourself. And
yes.
Looking at good old Trump's wife there. Don't do nothing. Just keep your hands firmly affixed to your desk or your chair or whatever the hell you're holding on to there.
Yes.
Oh, really? You're actually following my instructions?
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
We covered that, Louis, of course. just fill it. Anyway, yes. What? Quit screwing me up. God damn it. You too with your mindless little comments and statements. Shut up.
Yes.
We're going to go for a commercial break, but don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. Don't keep holding on to your chair. All the shit I just told you. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we've got the expose. Where does the Clinton Foundation money go? Yes, we do. And before that, of course, don't worry, because the NAACP is still talking. It doesn't matter if their president's white. No, it doesn't matter. And we've got HTLA's Brock Favors up in HTLA Chopper 1 to do the traffic. When we come back, hold on to your butts. Here it comes.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
The fashion houses of Europe have him on retainer. His sense of style, impeccable. His mustache is insured with Lloyd's of London. He's the newest member of the TSN team, and he's coming for you.
Winnipeg, Get ready to paint the town burgundy.
Catch Ron Burgundy live at Tim Hortons' Roar of the Rings, Sunday, December 1st at 2 on TSN.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me
There's only one place to get more Taylor.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I stood outside assessing the situation. I knew it could be rough in there, but how rough? There was no way to know for sure.
Hey, guys.
Daddy, it's pink!
But hey, a new house, it's a blank canvas, and we got a great one, thanks to a really low mortgage rate from Navy Federal Credit Union.
Pink?
So she's a princess. You got a problem with that?
Hoorah! Hoorah! 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
We hugged in the elevator, and I still have an erection.
Oh, you're just saying that because I told you all about the sexy first ladies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I am in bed. I love to dance the tango.
That's just all kinds of frickin' wrong. Well, I see Jenny there. She loaded up a nice Ron Burgundy commercial for TSN from last Christmas. So hey, you know what the hell? I'm going to hang on a sec. You want to do that? Fine. Two can play at that game, Missy. Check this out.
From all of us at HTLA Radio 1 New York, happy holidays.
There you go. So take that, you blonde bimbette.
Yes.
Yes. And hey, speaking of the bimbettes, we got lots of the sexy babes, of course, in the Spreaker.com chat room. Yes, of course, the one, the only Devlon Crawford. Yes, the one, the only Sharon Chesley. The cheerleaders of HTLA. Yes. Yes, they're in there today with their G-strings and push-up bras.
Yes.
You betcha, at least they are in my mind. Yeah. Of course, we got the one, the only Apocalypse, the promotion director at HCLA. Yes, we got him. We got Aaron. I'm thinking, I thought I saw earlier, it could just be wishful thinking, but maybe Bjorn Eriksson got his shit together today. You never know. One can only hope. Also, of course, the one, the only, well, we don't know anything but Aaron. What the hell? Why do we?
No, Frank and I were talking that your mother was in a movie.
Yeah, she was. Quit rubbing it in my face. I wasn't.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Yeah, well.
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So,
well, I don't think I need your help getting dressed. Well, you never know. I mean, I could if we have another weekend like last weekend. Yeah. Well, listen, gang, welcome back to the big show. Your coffee and cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, where it is 86 degrees right now. Central Park, still under partially sunny skies. And it doesn't matter. Everybody's out enjoying themselves.
Yes.
Just who cares about the weather? F it. That's right. Of course, this fine show and the entire lineup of fine shows from HTLA, of course, are brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, now with 8 fine locations in that city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs. Tim Hortons, always fresh.
how many different families do you have?
Currently 4. See, I should run for president now. I can count.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, and of course our weather girl and cheerleader Sharon Chesley says 86 degrees. What a joke. I was talking to her yesterday or the day before.
Yes.
No, yesterday was the Dirty Picture Sexy time. Yeah, no, it was the day before we were talking on Facebook there.
Yes.
And I filled her in that there was one spot in Texas 2 days ago that was 122 degrees. And I figured, that must be where she was because she's so damn hot. But she said I was wrong. So I guess that was another failed line,
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Is that what it is, Louis?
Yeah.
It could be.
It's not awful, but just not good.
Yeah. Right. So what you're saying, Gilbert, is, of course, that you've got better pickup lines than the Crash Master here. Oh, well, and this just in, yes, the one, the only, Paulie B shooting the shit is in the chat room. There you go. He's there. He's finally reared his ugly head and shown up at 4:23, completely oblivious to the fact that it's a 2-hour show today. He just comes in to listen later because he likes to watch. Well, welcome to the show, Paulie B, and don't worry. I think we're actually going to be 3 freaking hours today because I've got like 9 stories I haven't touched yet. Well, let's move along. Yes. Where does that Clinton money go? Yeah. Well, we've got that for you. But before we do that, of course, we have to get to the one, the only Brock Favors in HTLA Chopper One, bringing us the traffic today. Brock, take it.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with traffic on the ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here in the chopper. But I gotta tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh my God! Oh! No! Stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10, and it's massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh! Goddamn! We're gonna die in this mother. Oh my God! Woo! Okay. I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, please! Oh goddamn! Oh, get me on this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh no, black people ain't meant to be in the sky! We ain't meant to be in the sky, man! Oh mama, help me, mother! Oh mama! But a 405 is up right now. Ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Hey, yo, Joe, hey.
Yes, thank you, Gilbert, for that beautiful ending to a beautiful piece.
Yes.
Yeah. And, of course, as always, our condolences go out to the Favors family.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Louis, we just listened to a black man die. Of course you can. Of course you can feel free to cuss, my friend.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
We do, but, in order for us to pay you, you actually have to give us something to pay you for. Yeah.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, see, you bring sex into it, but you got nothing under the table. Yep. Well, moving on today, of course, we've got to go to where no man has gone before. And no, it's not George Takei's pants. No, many men and senators have been there.
Yes.
But today we're asking the question on coffee and cigarettes, of course, where does that Clinton Foundation money go? We kind of thought we had a right to know, seeing as she, is trying to lead the country, one coffee shop at a time. So we looked into it. Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina says that, quote, so little of the charitable donations to that Clinton Foundation actually go to the charitable works. A figure the Fiorina campaign later put at about 6% of its annual revenues, but Fiorina is simply wrong, apparently. Fiorina and others are referring only to the amount donated by the Clinton Foundation to outside charities, ignoring the fact that most of the Clinton Foundation's charitable work is performed in-house for things like Hillary's yacht and Bill's bitches. One independent philanthropy watchdog did an analysis of the Clinton Foundation funding and concluded for us that about 89% of its funding does actually go to bloody charity. Not even kidding. That's pretty amazing, I think, because
yes,
that's not normal. Well, the Fiorina attacks, of course. Fiorina has been shadowing Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail in order to contrast herself with her Democratic rival. Although why you'd bother with the Scooby machine, I don't know why. That whole Clinton thing seems pretty self-defeating to me.
Yes.
Well, in a Fox News interview, Fiorina was asked about a New York Times story about Senator Marco Rubio's finances, and Fiorina responded that she wished the New York Times would do more to investigate the Clintons' finances, and particularly what they've been doing with their donors' money to the Clinton Global Initiative. Fiorina on June 10th, quote, I mean, honestly, the question I think now is for Clinton is, what else don't we know? What don't we know about your donors? What don't we know about the conflicts of interest that those donors represent with Mrs. Clinton is serving as Secretary of State? We are now finding out that so little of those charitable donations actually go to charitable works. Well, asked for backup, the Fiorina campaign noted that the Clinton Foundation's latest IRS Form 990 shows a total revenue of nearly $149 million in 2013 and total charitable grant disbursements of nearly $9 million. That comes to roughly 6% of the budget going to grants, and besides those grants, the campaign said, there isn't really anything that can be categorized as charitable. Well, that just isn't so. The Clinton Foundation does most of its charitable work itself. Katharina Rosetta, the founding executive director of the Center of High Impact Philanthropy at the University of Pennsylvania, described the Clinton Foundation as an operating foundation. There's an important distinction between the operating foundation versus a non-operating foundation, Rosetta told us via email. An operating foundation implements programs, so money it raises is not designed to be used exclusively for grant-making purposes. When most people hear foundation, they think exclusively of a grant-making entity. In either case, the key is to understand how well the foundation uses money, whether to implement programs or to grant out to nonprofits. To achieve the intended social impact, et cetera, Greg, never mind the et ceteras. Greg Minasson, Chief Communications Officer for the Clinton Foundation, said that the foundation is an implementer. We operate programs on the ground around the world. We are making a difference on issues ranging from poverty to global health and global climate change and women's and girls' participation. Women's and girls' participation. What do they, dance for rain or what? Well, Minasson told us via email that many large foundations actually provide grants to the Clinton Foundation so that our staff can implement the work, he said. Asked for some examples of the work it performs itself, the Clinton Foundation listed these. The Clinton Development Initiative staff in Africa train rural farmers to help them get access to seeds, equipment, and markets for their crops from Monsanto. And the Clinton and climate, and there's so many clits in this. The Clinton Climate Initiative staff, at the Health Access Initiative, an independent affiliated entity, work in dozens of nations to lower the cost of HIV and AIDS medicine, scale up pediatric AIDS treatment, and promote treatment of diarrhea through life-saving zinc ores treatment. So there you go. If you did not know that there was a what do you call it? A Clinton thing out there. The Clinton Foundation is out there working hard every day to stop diarrhea. Clinton Health Matters staff work with local governments and businesses as well in the United States to develop wellness and physical activity plans. To bolster its case, the Fiorina campaign noted that the Clinton Foundation spent 12% of its total revenue on travel and conferences and 20% of its revenue on salaries. Well, that's true, but the Form 990 specifically breaks out those travel, conference, and salary expenses that are used for the program service expenses versus those that are used for management and fundraising. For example, nearly 77% of the $8.4 million spent on travel in 2013 went towards program services. 3.4% went to management and general expenses, and about 20% went to fundraising. As for conferences, nearly 98% of the money spent was tabbed as a programming expense, and when it comes to salaries, which includes pension plan contributions, benefits, and payroll taxes, about 73% went to program services expenses. I'm not the expert on what portion of the Clinton Foundation activities are truly charitable, says Vince Stell, Executive Director of Media Impact Funders and a board member of the Center for Effective Philanthropy, told us via email. But I can say that it is not appropriate to simply calculate that based on what portion goes out in grants. Certainly all types of foundations are able to engage in direct charitable activities in any event. But as I understand it, the Clinton Foundation is a public charity despite the name. Many charities call themselves foundations, which can be confusing as they might seem like private foundations used to launder money for rich people. The organization carries out programs, Stell said. I'm not immediately familiar with those programs, but assuming they are genuine, those would be considered charitable activities. Charity evaluators. Fiorina isn't the only one making this charge about the Clinton Foundation, of course. Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis, for example, also claimed only 6% of the Clinton Foundation's 2013 revenue went to help people. Willis claimed that the charity experts have looked into whether the Clinton Foundation wisely spent charitable dollars and weighed in with a resounding no. The charity Navigator has placed the Clinton Foundation on a watch list, Willis said. They think that there are problems with this nonprofit. They don't like the way it runs itself, and they say the money is not spent wisely. She said Charity Navigator concluded that the Clinton Foundation does not meet their criteria as an organization that does charitable work. But that's not what Charity Navigator said. Here for you today is what the Charity Navigator actually stated. Charity Navigator, quote, "We had previously evaluated this organization, but have since determined that this charity's atypical business model cannot be accurately captured in our current rating methodology. Our removal of the Clinton Foundation from our site is neither a condemnation nor endorsement of this charity, and we reserve the right to reinstate a rating for the Clinton Foundation as soon as we identify a rating that works with this nightmare." So there you go. That's the big word.
Yes.
Yes, we looked at the consolidated financial statements and calculated that in 2013, 88.3% of spending was designated as going towards program services, $196.6 million out of $222.6 million in reported expenses. We can't vouch for the effectiveness of the programming expenses listed in the report, but it is clear that the claim that the Clinton Foundation only steers 6% of its donations to charity is wrong, and the amounts to a misunderstanding of how public charities work. So there you go. The foundation can't find anything wrong with it.
Yes.
The woman, we can find all kinds of things wrong with it. Yes, we can. Can't even get 5 people to a coffee shop. Come on. Goes into a Walmart of all places. Nobody knows her.
Yes.
Christ.
So, and here's Hervey Villagers in Centavon. Your name is Daphne. Daphne. I smell the perfume and I hear the southern accent. Did you just salute to me even though I'm blind?
Oh, my God. Gil Gilbert, I think you need to get an Academy Award for that.
Yes.
I do. That's just stupendous, outstanding. You can't get any better without a prescription. It is just...
I am in pain. I love to dance the tango.
Oh, shit. All right, yeah, I'll get on with the show now. Yeah. Well, of course, now we've got to turn to more troubling news.
Yes.
Yes, the AME Church worldwide mourns with South Carolina. Yes, apparently the AME Church is all over the world. Really? There's black people all over the world? Really? Well, born in resistance 2 centuries ago, beset by assault and abuse for too much of its history, the African Methodist Episcopal Church could not have been more connected, even as it has grown into a worldwide church. But now it's in worldwide mourning. And that's not a good morning. Yes, we all know now about the lone white gunman storming into the historic Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina, Wednesday night, opening fire on Bible studies and prayers, and group killed 9 people with like 78 shots. Well, according to the church, they're on 5 continents in 39 countries, but the reaction worldwide is as if it's your own congregation. The pain is that severe, says Reverend Mark Tilley Tyler, pastor of a sister congregation, Mother Bethel AME Church in Philadelphia, who was recently interviewed by his friend Pickney for a documentary he's making on the history of the AME Church. Well, there's one I'm not going to miss. Yes, it feels like members of your own church have passed away. As AMEs, we're that close, Tyler says. We call ours a connectional church, even though through spell check we'll say the word does not exist. Well, connectional, it's close to correctional, and the black folks are really familiar with that. You can't tell us it's not right because we're connected together like branches of the same tree. Tyler and his business partner have been trying to raise about $40,000 to finish their documentary, The AME Movement, African Methodism in South Carolina. It's aimed at explaining church history and yada, yada, yada. Why are we talking about your effing movie? And, of course, there's a Kickstarter campaign link, and that is literally the end of it. So here you go. Here's another fine example of how the black folks are trying to turn tragedy into business. Come to my film. Come to my film. I need more money to finish my film.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Join the white independent filmmakers there, bucko. We're all looking for money, too. Well, let's see here. You might be asking yourself as a listener of HTLA, well, of course you might not, how do I help the Charleston church shooting victims and families? Well, not that I freaking care, but I'm going to pass this story along to you, and you can make up your own mind. Yes, how can you help the Charleston church shooting victims' families? I'm pretty sure somewhere in here is going to be Kickstarter, GoFundMe, GoFundMe. In fact, I'm willing to bet somebody out there, one of those black congregationals, they're out there right now as I speak, writing a song. Yes, a charitable feel-good song about this tragedy entitled GoFundMe Lord. Well, along with the 9 people killed and 3 survivors in Wednesday night's shooting in South Carolina church. Wait a minute, 3 survivors? Dumb and Dumber only left 1 survivor. What's this 3 shit?
Yes.
Well, on Thursday, Mayor Joe Riley announced that the city set up a Mother Emanuel Hope Fund, which does not have tax-deductible status. Of course not, because that's too much paperwork. Yes, of course, to help family members pay for burial expenses, he pledged $5,000 himself from city coffers and said that any remaining money given by the public will be donated directly to Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. See, so even if you don't go there every Sunday and you don't fill up the offering plate, you still can. Well, people can help in the following ways. You can donate to the Mother Emanuel Hope Fund at any Wells Fargo branch across the USA.
Yes.
Jesus. What about the tragedy in my pants last night? Come on. I don't see anybody sending me money because I couldn't get some nitty pictures. Yeah. Wow, and in 24 hours, they got Wells Fargo set up.
Yes.
Well, you can also send a check to Mother Emanuel Hope Fund, care of City of Charleston, P.O. Box 304, Charleston, South Carolina, 29402. Once again, that is the Mother Emanuel Hope Fund, care of City of Charleston, P.O. Box 309, Charleston, South Carolina, 18269. There you go. Now you have no idea how to help.
Yes.
Well, text pay for Charleston. Yeah, okay. Yes, you can text pay for Charleston to 843-606-5995. Or you can go to www.bidr.co/pray for Charleston to donate by credit card. Now you can send a check to Low County Ministries, a South Carolina nonprofit that also has established a fund to help. Yeah, I bet they have. You know what, Gilbert?
Yes.
Screw all this. Everybody out there, we've established a fund to help too. You can send it to HTLA. Got to get me on this gravy train.
Yes.
Yes, they've set up their fund, of course. You can do that at the Low County Ministries. The Reverend Pinkney. Yes, thank you. The Pinkney Fund, care of the Palmetto Project, 6296 Rivers Avenue 100, North Charleston, South Carolina, 29406. You can also donate to the Pinkney Fund. The Pickney Fund? Really? You can donate directly to the Pickney Fund there online at palmettoproject.org via major credit card, or they even take PayPal.
Yes.
And you can also give directly to the Emmanuel AME Church. You can donate online via major credit card or PayPal. Donations to both Low County Ministries and Emmanuel AME Church are tax deductible. And, well, who cares? April 15th's come and gone. Yeah, so there you go. And also, yeah, seriously, you can donate to HTLA in the name of the AME Church. Yes. Yes, because at HTLA, our pain is your pain. Obama news. Yes, we've got the Obama news. What better time if you'd like to give to the former President Obama Fund? Yes, in Washington today, President Obama says he was worried that becoming president would mean even less time for family, but in a recent magazine column to be published next week, Obama says he's surprised to find the opposite is true. He can't get away from his damn wife. Yes, being in the White House has made our family life more normal than it's ever been, he writes. To our surprise, moving to the White House was really the first time since the girls were born that we've been able to be, well, gather as a family almost every single freaking night. And Obama's reflections on fatherhood come in a guest column in More magazine, of course. That's the one where the First Lady is doing her temporary editor job.
Yes.
I think we should be citing her for favoritism for printing this one. Yes, First Lady Michelle Obama happens to be serving as a stint as a guest editor. She asked her president husband to reflect on family life for the magazine's second sex column. Do I want to read more?
Yes.
Really? No. Well, the headline, of course, of the article is How the Presidency Made Me a Better Father. Do you get the feeling that she walked into the Oval Office, slapped this little title down and said, "Here, this is what you're going to write. Get to work." Well, family life was tougher when Obama was just a state legislator in Illinois and a former U.S. senator, which required 3-day trips to Springfield and Wilmington away from the family, he wrote. I helped out and I saw myself as a pretty enlightened guy, but the truth was I helped on my terms and on my schedule, and the expectations and the burden disproportionately and unfairly fell on Michelle, as happens to many poor, poor women. Well, at the White House, where mother-in-law Marion lives and helps with the kids, oh, sure, that's a good excuse to live at the White House. Yeah. Yeah, the daily commute home from the Oval Office is just a few minutes, and parent-teacher conferences, tennis matches, and dance recitals are just a short motorcade ride away. I've even experienced what all dads dread. Yes, watching my daughter go to her first prom in high heels, he wrote. So it's not always easy being a father of teenage girls, but it is pretty good to live above the store. I don't think Obama's Muslim. I think he's Chinese. Yeah. Well, the column shed light on the daily rituals of family life in the Obama White House, like the 6:30 p.m. dinners for the family dining room that Obama called sacrosanct. That's unavoidable. My staff knows that it pretty much takes a national emergency to keep me away from that dinner table, Obama said. Thank God for Al-Qaeda and terrorism. Yes, he says, the highlight of my day is just listening to their thoughts about the world and seeing what smart, funny kind of young women they've become. That hour recharges me and gives me a perspective in those moments where I can just be dad, even if it's, Dad! Well, there's nothing better, Obama writes. Obama's column will appear in an issue with Michelle on the cover. It's on newsstands next frickin' Tuesday. And do you think that's all the Obama news I got today?
Yes.
No, you idiots. Of course frickin' not.
Yes.
God. Dude, can you... Why don't you do something useful? Why don't you go see if Sharon sent me those pictures yet? God damn it. Well, Obama news aplenty, and yes, we got it today. Obama, of course, to speak at a mayor's conference in San Francisco. Yes, he's going to be slumming it to get away from family time. Yes, and he's wasting no time either. At the San Francisco Mayor's Conference, of course, he's going to be speaking there Friday, making his 20th visit to the city as president. Looks like he does it as a regular bit. That's right. Unlike some last visits to the tech hub, Obama is expected to focus on fixes to broad social problems when he addresses the annual meeting for the U.S. Conference of Mayors this Friday afternoon. Oh, shit, that's today. Yes, he'll talk about work being done at the local level to address issues ranging from minimum wage to paid sick leave and childcare in preschools, Deputy Press Secretary Eric Schultz said yesterday. Schultz noted that the administration's strategy has been to put its efforts into working at the state and local levels over the past few years, and given that he doesn't want to be around the house for dinner time. That's right. The presidential visit coincides with a parade in Oakland for the Golden State. I'm thinking New Jersey. It's the Golden State Warriors' victory at the NBA Finals. Yeah, see, there, I'm a man. I don't have a clue about basketball. What the hell is that? Apparently, the parade, though, is going to create a transit bottleneck. Yes, the president's going to have to wait for the dumb basketball players to Well, some 280 mayors actually convene on the Hilton in Union Square to talk about cities and towns and how they can better serve their citizens. Some of the tensions that came with that type of disruption brought by technology will also be highlighted, though perhaps not as the conference organizers might have wanted. The ride-hailing service Uber is a sponsor at the conference, and a tour of its downtown San Francisco headquarters is scheduled for this coming Monday. The San Francisco Taxi Workers Alliance plans to protest outside the office while the mayors are inside having refreshments and hanging out with smart people. Well, President Obama isn't the only headliner at the conference either. Musicians MC Hammer... Really? Can't touch this, 1987?
Yes.
Really? And that's what your press guy has got you for an event? The mayor's conference? Also, I guess Mexican guitar has-been Carlos Santana. Yes, of course, he's there. He's going to be on a panel today about music and politics and how they don't frickin' have anything to do with each other. And of course, this is the big news, the big announcement.
Yes.
Right here. You've got to be there because she has to have at least more than 4 people show up this time. And that's right. On Saturday, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton will be speaking. And on Sunday, another Democratic presidential candidate, Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, will address the mayors as well. I guess it's just a sense of feeling wanted or important. Well, it's 5 minutes to go. Do you think I can wrap it up?
Yes.
Well, as long as you don't do your Son of the Woman crap, I think I'm golden. Well, moving along today in our stories, we got a story about the Iowa court allowing for dispensing of abortion pills remotely. Yes, almost like vending machines. That's right. Des Moines, Iowa. The Iowa Supreme Court ruled today that doctors can keep using telemedicine systems to dispense abortion pills because it would pose an undue burden on a woman's right to abortion. Look for upcoming soon drive-through window service. More than 7,200 Iowa women have used the Planned Parenthood of the Heartland system to obtain abortion-inducing pills since 2008. The system, the first of its kind in the nation, allows Planned Parenthood doctors in Des Moines or Iowa City to interact via video with patients in outlying clinics, then dispense the pills to the women. State regulators appointed by Iowa's governor who opposes abortion ruled in 2013 that the system should effectively be banned because of purported safety concerns. Well, you're right. Maybe the women shouldn't have to... Oh, actually, the women don't even have to go out of their homes. It can all be done via the internet. What safety issues? Well, the ban was put on hold while Planned Parenthood appealed a court. A district judge sided with the regulators in 2014, but the Supreme Court disagreed, of course, today. The justices decided 6-0 that the Iowa Board of Medicine's rule violated women's rights under the state of federal constitutions. The court noted that the telemedicine is being used to provide many other types of health care as well, but the medical board only focused on telemedicines used for abortion when it was imposed a requirement that doctors personally perform physical exams on patients. The justices wrote, quote, "It is difficult to avoid the conclusion that the board's medical concerns about telemedicine are selectively limited to abortion. The Supreme Court determined that the medical board's rule imposed an unconstitutional, unique burden on women's right to abortion. It noted that the national standards do not require a physician to perform a physical examination on a woman before providing medication abortion. The court also noted that other staff members in the outlying Planned Parenthood clinics draw blood, take medical histories, and perform sonograms on the patients, which are transmitted to the physicians. The justices wrote that they didn't see proof that an in-person exam by a doctor would provide any measurable gain in patient safety. The case is being watched nationally because, of course, abortion providers in other states have considered setting up similar systems because there's so much freaking money to make. Well, Brandstad spokesman Jimmy Centers, Brandstad is a drug company or something?
Yes.
Brandstad spokesman Jimmy Centers released a statement expressing the governor's frustration with the justice's ruling. He noted that medical board's ruling came after it received a petition from healthcare professionals who were concerned about the system's safety. Oh, so they're worried about the actual, I don't know, the computers? Maybe it's the internet connection speed. Maybe you can't just shove an abortion through at 28 megabits per second. Oh, Christ. I don't know. Well, abortion rights activists contend that the telemedicine system is an innovative, safe way to offer legal medical service in rural areas where it otherwise isn't available. But those pesky abortion opponents... Of course, they have contended that the arrangement exposes vulnerable women to potentially dangerous drugs without sufficient medical backup in case of complications. I sound like the Imperial Master, and where is my Darth Vader? I don't even know where that voice came from. All of a sudden, I'm just the evil Emperor.
Yes.
Well, what the hell? Well, the Iowa Board of Medicine ruled in 2013 that the system's use was inappropriate and unsafe. But with no backing or credible facts, it's now been ruled safe. There you go. Oh, then the whiny Planned Parenthood... Oh, no, not whiny. They're not the ones against it.
Yes.
No. Planned Parenthood noted that under the previous governor, the medical board looked at the telemedicine abortion system and found no problems. The medical board's ruling came after Barnstead replaced all 10 members of the board. His replacement members included a Catholic priest and a former legislator known for producing and introducing abortion-limiting bills. And I found no problem with the system. Yeah, he must have used a bunch of his interns and... Well, the medical board's ruling was on hold while Planned Parenthood fought the matter in court. A Polk County District judge sided with the medical board last August. Planned Parenthood then appealed to the Iowa Supreme Court, which heard the arguments this March. A lawyer for the Attorney General's office who represented the board before the Supreme Court contended that the board followed proper procedures, including having a public hearing and taking written comments before making the decision. Critics noted that the board rules wording was taken nearly verbatim from the petition filed by abortion opponents. In its ruling, the Iowa Supreme Court sidestepped Planned Parenthood's request that it declare an abortion right under Iowa's Constitution. The justices said they don't need to answer the question because the board's rule violated the U.S. Constitution. The opinion was written by Justice David Wiggins, a Democrat. Justice Bruce Zager, a Republican, did not participate directly in the case or any abortions directly. The Supreme Court justices don't generally explain reasons for such abstentions, and they also don't explain their reasons for extramarital affairs. And now for a story that should have been number one at the top of the hill. Well, no, this is serious, Gilbert. It's not looking too good for Whitey.
Yes.
No, it's not. Because that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You thought the black folks like to get up in arms in Ferguson.
Yes.
Yes, you thought the black folks like to get up in arms in Baltimore. Well, think about this. Think about Slavery Records. Slavery Records.
Yes.
And no, it's not a new record label. No, Slavery Records will soon be easily searchable online. That's right. Now, black people all over the world will be able to get pissed all at the same time. So look for a riot coming to a city everywhere. right. Millions of previously hard-to-access records on freed enslaved African Americans collected just after the start of the U.S. Civil War will soon be easily searchable online, allowing millions of people to trace their ancestry back farther than ever before, even to the people who owned them. Well, I thought it was going to be genealogy.com.
Yes.
But no, it's Family Search, a large genealogy organization, announced today that in collaboration with several other organizations, it will digitally release records collected through the Freedmen's Bureau and launch a nationwide volunteer effort to make the records searchable by indexing them all by the end of 2016. Genealogists and historians call the move a tremendous step in helping the nation learn more about its past and unique opportunity for millions of black folk to reconnect with ancestors and owners. Well, the records also come as the nation continues to discuss racial identity. In the case, of course, of Rachel Dolezal, a woman who is biologically white but identifies as black and, well, is the president of the NAACP. There you go. Of course, she stepped down as president after everybody found out she was as white as you and me, Gilbert. Yeah. Well, in hashtags, social media forums open lively discussions. People continue to debate how to define race and what role lineage plays in ethnicity. The Freedmen's Bureau records serve to further that conversation and illustrate how complex race remains, says Mark Anthony Neal, an African and African American studies professor at Duke University. When I asked him if he thought this was a good idea, he said, yeah. I stared blankly at him and blinked numerous times. He says the big question of America is the question of racial identity. I said, really? I know I'm white Irish. I know you're black. What's the screwed up people? What's wrong here? Well, the Freedmen's Bureau obtained handwritten personal information about an estimated 4 million newly freed enslaved people. Really? Yeah, I've been owned by my master just last week. Yes, those newly enslaved people freed, including details about who previously owned them, because that's going to end well. Yes, marriage, family history, military service, banking practices, and hospital and property records. Experts say such information will unearth a treasure trove of information that will incite many riots all over the country. Apparently, the records serve as a bridge to slavery and freedom, says Hollis Gentry of the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, which will showcase the records when it opens next year. You can look at some of the original documents that were created at a time when these people were living. They are the earliest recordings of the people who were formerly enslaved. We get a sense of their voice. We get a sense of their desires, their goals, their dreams, their hopes, and then watch them all get whipped away with leather. Gentry and others involved in the project say the records will allow all Americans to learn how the United States transformed society after slavery ended. It's not transformed. However, of course, they stress that they will need the public's help to index all the records, which they believe could take 6 to 9 months. So it's going to be like wiki slaves. You know, and because of this whole Rachel Dolezal thing, you'll be able to report white people you don't like and say that they're actually black and were formerly owned. That's right. Organized near the end of the Civil War and following the passage of the 13th Amendment, the Freedmen's Bureau operated from 1865 to 1872 in 15 states and the District of Columbia. It opened schools, managed hospitals, rationed food and clothing, and even solemnized marriages. Oh, the gay folks are going to be up our asses about that. Well, subsequently, as a result, it did collect information on millions of people. Sharon Leslie Morgan, founder of Our Black Ancestry Foundation, Yes, a nonprofit that aims to provide resources for African-American genealogical research, said that the indexing is very important and will give some people a sense of confidence as they learn about their family's triumphs and struggles and find those frickin' accountable. Well, prior to 1870, of course, U.S. Census, black people were classified as property without last names. Damn straight. And you know, it's funny. One of our most prominent black folks right now has done the same thing to herself. It's not Oprah Winfrey. It's just Oprah. Oh, that's right. They were classified as property without last names. Finding information about black families before that year is extremely hard, she said. In addition, the records, which will now be online, were before only accessible by physically visiting places such as the National Archives and reading through hundreds of pages. There is a longing inside all of us as human beings have to know where we came from and who we belong to. Oh, that was a fun choice of words.
Yes.
Following Friday's announcement, volunteers will work with Family Search, the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, and the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society, and, holy shit, the list goes on and on. And the California African American Museum. Really? They have one of those?
Yes.
I guess you'll find anything in California. Except water. Yes, the California African American Museum to make the histories easy to find for free online searches. Tom Reed of Family Search said. Keisha Bentley Edwards, a professor at the University of Texas at Austin. Here we go, Texas news. Yeah. There we go. Yes, who studies race, adolescence, and academic and social development, thinks the records will make some feel more confident and others outraged and violent. Of course, when you're able to look at your own family and see the triumphs that may have occurred in your family, both as a result and despite of slavery, I think it'll be a very empowering experience, she said. But there is that element that there could be powder kegs ready to go off. And Mark O'Connell, a psychotherapist who researches and writes about identity, adds that people of all races find power in family histories. The more connected we are to something strong and heroic and made up from our ancestors, of course, the more we can feel capable of being that way in our own lives, he said. Meanwhile, Morgan has spent a lifetime actually, researching her family roots, discovering the name of a black great-grandmother born around 1800 and a white great-grandfather born in 1670. Guess she won't be applying for the NAACP job.
Yes.
See, they're thinking this is all good. They're thinking, oh, this is great, black culture and black this and black that, and the sucky part is, isn't it? There's always two sides to every story, and with every bit of good you're going to uncover in your histories,
yes,
well, you're going to uncover the bad. Yes. Well, apparently, in order for us to deal with contemporary issues that we have today, those being racism, black boys being shot down in the streets after threatening the lives and attacking policemen, you have to confront the past, she said. The land was stolen from Native Americans. Oh, yeah, like you care about the Indians. Come on. Yes, the land was stolen from the Native Americans. The labor was provided for free by African slaves. Hey, interesting tidbit there, negress. No, Gilbert, this whole story has got me really pissed off because you know what? 200 years.
Yes.
Yeah, 200 years before you black-ass slaves were over here. I'm gonna enlighten you on a little something.
Yes.
Who do you think they were using for slaves before you all came along? They were using Irish children, bitch. Yeah, so cry me a frickin' river, Mamie. Yes, you have to confront the past, she said. Well, confront that, baby.
Yes.
Yes, that land was stolen from the Native Americans. The labor was provided for free by African slaves. And Irish 200 years before you! The entire foundation of American capitalism is based on slavery. Uh-huh. And unlike you, we just accept it and move the F on. Yes, on a free labor market, people don't want to deal with that, and you have to. Well, stuff your black shit up your ass. No, I don't. That's right. And that's how I am ending this weekend show. That's right. Stuff it up your ass. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of stuffing things up people's asses this weekend. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get into that sodomy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Louis, you didn't say much today, but...
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that's okay, but it could have been worse, and, it wasn't, so thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being here today. Yeah. It's good having you.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
All right, good. And, of course, Gilbert, Cary Grant, Scent of a Woman. Well, thank you, my friend, for being here. It's great to have you again.
Thank you for listening and support the show
for the love of God. Yes. And, of course, all you listeners out there that have stuck with us for the last 2 hours and 15 freaking minutes. Well, that's it. I told them I was bringing them a 2-hour show today, and, yes. Well, you got 15 minutes of bonus racial hatred. There you go. I'd like to thank HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk, of course, for having us here this Friday, the June 19th, of course. 85 Central Park right now. Get out there and play some Frisbee or something, or beat up some white people. You can do it. It's all free. Hey, and special thanks to, of course, Paulie B, Apocalypse, the one, the only, Devlon Crawford, Sharon Chesley. Yeah, we'll talk later. Yeah. The intern and the topless intern.
Yes.
And topless Jenny and everybody. Just have yourselves a great weekend, and we will catch you Monday for the Monday Mocha with more racial stuff. Yeah. Have a good one.
HTLA Radio 1.
Hi, I'm Gil Fulbright. The people that run my campaign, they've made this commercial, and I'm in it. This campaign, it's not about me. It's about crafting a version of me that'll appeal to you. A version that visits random work sites with paid actors pointing at things. A version of me that doesn't find old people loathsome or pointless. Has a conventionally attractive yet curiously still family. Listening to my constituents, legislating, these are things I don't do. What I do is spend about 70% of my time raising funds for re-election. I'd do anything to stay in office. My name's Gil Fulbright, but hell, I'll change my name to Phil Goldbright or Bill Fulbright or fill up my mouth with farts. These are the things that are important to me. And these are the fine people that finance my campaign. Now, in order to do these things, I have to stay in office. And to stay in office, I have to keep these guys happy. Now, if any of these things make these guys unhappy, well, my hands are tied. So come November, the choice is clear. You want another spineless mouthpiece for special interest in lobbyists? Or a spineless mouthpiece for special interest in lobbyists? I'm Philip, a mouth with farts, and I approve this message.